Psychopathic. It's nothing to fear.
So I just want to update. Today we are Tuesday. I'm about halfway through For the Wolf, so I already know a lot more about the background and where the story is going, which is great because I've read 200 pages and it really feels like not much happened. It feels like we had a lot of info dumping happening, but that's it. And it was very confusing how it was handled also. I don't really like how the exposition was done in this book. I think it's heavy-handed. It doesn't really make sense who is giving the information to whom. Like, that just doesn't make sense because they should already know all that. We are learning a little bit more about the past, and that's interesting. I said that I was enjoying the writing, and I do like the way it's written, but I think it comes in its own way of telling the story. So by that I mean that the writing is a bit too lyrical, that the points that it's trying to make kind of get muddled, and it just makes you want to just skip through that stuff. Like, it's like, okay, I get it, there's a lot of branches, there's a lot of this, there's a lot of that, I get it. What is the scene about? What are we doing? What's going on? It doesn't really give you much of that. There's very little for you to grab on that's interesting, and there's a lot of like descriptions and stuff like that after a while just gets really redundant. Also, I have to say there is a lot of talk about cutting and blood, so there's a lot of that, like a lot. It's literally how they are able to keep the forest from becoming dangerous. So just so you know, going in, we've got some interludes that follow the first daughter, and I really don't care for those. Like, I don't mind the characters, but I just don't care for that storyline. I think this has been compared to Uprooted. I'd say that relationship so far, like, there's nothing romantic yet, but I'm assuming there will be. It's way less toxic in this one, even though, you know, he's centuries old, so that might be weird, but you know, you just have to like get over this. It's fine. And tomorrow, I believe, Sasha is doing some reading sprint. I think it's tomorrow, so I'm really excited about it. If I haven't finished, then I will continue, obviously. How dare you, sir? I have also been reading other things here and there for future vlogs, so that's why I'm taking a while to get into it, because other stories have also been taking my time. I was cleaning our room, so I thought I would just update you. Now, I finished For the Wolf, finally today. Okay, so the only tab that I have here is sometimes you don't mourn people so much as you mourn who they could have been. This book was something. I've said it before, the writing is quite lush, but it really comes in the way of the story. I think there's some issues with the pacing. First of all, it's really hard to figure out how much of the time has passed. Sometimes it's like a day and you feel like it's way longer, and sometimes it's like a week and you feel like, oh, I haven't felt like it was that long. Anyway, so I had issues with the pacing. I had issues with the fact that the world was just so confusing. This book was just confusing. It was confusing in terms of pacing. It was confusing in terms of world building, in terms of how things were working, in terms of relationships. I don't know, in everything really. Oh, also there's like a thing that threw me off a lot is talk about coffee, talk about leggings. That just felt a little bit weird to me. It was difficult to see what the world was really, and what were the limitations, and like what was the setting exactly. Usually in fantasy it always feels like it's around the Middle Ages, or it's like that type of era, but there was some mention, like I said, of coffee and leggings and words that sometimes felt a bit modern or a bit out of place here from all the other descriptions. So I don't know, maybe that's just a me thing, I don't know. Honestly, for half of it, I think this was going to be a 3-star, but I really did not like where it went and the ending. I thought that the plot just turned into this big miscommunication thing where nobody is talking to each other. Like, it really has been the biggest flaw of this book, is that we are left in the dark in so many things, for so many things that need to be said. I understand at the beginning, you know, being mysterious and stuff, but then at some point we need to learn more about things. It felt like the book was confused itself. So yes, by the end, this whole like lack of communication, it's not even miscommunication, it's a lack of communication to explain things that you need to explain in order to avoid these dumb twists. Basically, the turn of events could have completely been avoided if the characters were acting in ways that made a little bit more sense. I just didn't believe in the relationship. There was no chemistry that I could believe in. This book was just not it. It was not it. I'm disappointed. Also, it's not fresh. It doesn't bring anything new. It doesn't bring anything interesting. And I guess the best part of it is the prose, but I want a story too. I just don't want to read a 400+ pages book that doesn't have anything interesting to say. So I think this is gonna be between a 2.5, 3 stars, but it's closer to the 2 than the 3. So, oh, also I know this is the first in a series. I have read at the end you actually get some extra chapters, and you get the first chapter in the next book, which is gonna be For the Throne. I read that one and it just actually made me angry because of where this is going. It just makes no sense. Like, what? No. Anyway, so I'm definitely not going to be continuing, and this can stand on its own. It's fine. Like, I don't really care where the story goes. This one was For the Ashton Tree, a book that keeps tempting you, or that's on the top of your TBR, and this was the pick for the Halloween Pack book club. Anyway, so I'm glad we are done with that one. The next one I'm gonna pick up, it's gonna be The Black Tongue Thief. I'm excited about it. I know it's sort of a horror one, so I'm kind of scared. Although I do know that some people had some reservations, so I will look up a few things on Goodreads so I can manage my expectations. Other than that, I need to do the choices. I've been behind on doing the choices. I know I read after the first choice. I read a few things. It was quite intense. I really liked it. That's right, we've reached the Mist of Solitude, and actually that's perfect because that's gonna be the Black Tongue Thief for me. That's a reader standalone, so that's cool. The mist makes you see things like your fears, and so here's what our choice is. You must get out of here, but you cannot do this with a head full of illusions. What do? A. I transmute parts of the nearby mist into solid marbles that fall to the ground. This gives me enough time to push through without being too affected. B. I take the time to analyze and accept my fears until they do not have enough of a mental impact on my journey forward. C. I conjure a dust devil to help disperse the mist for me to allow me to pass. And D. I try to calm my breathing, minimize feedback by closing my eyes, and focus on my hand and feet. I establish a connection with Earth and let it guide me towards the end of the mist. I would probably do D, like I'll probably try to calm myself because I'm no stranger to panic attacks, so I think that would be a bit similar. So I think that would be definitely something I would do. What would Willow do though? So she really likes Earth, she really likes nature. I mean, she would try to establish a connection with Earth, I think, because she's so connected to nature. I don't think that she would transmute the parts of the mist into solid marbles. I don't think she's scared of anything that nature has to give. She's more willing to welcome and accept it. So it's between B or D. A lot of people chose D, a lot of people chose B. That's funny. Okay, well, Willow would choose probably B because I think she's just gonna accept her fears. She understands the cycle of life and she doesn't fear much because of it. So yes, I will go with B. She accepts it and she's at peace with her fate. So I'm just gonna update this vlog quickly. Basically, we are doing a 24-hour readathon for the Magical Readathon. Right now we are on a break, but we've already been sprinting for 4 hours and I've been reading this book. I will have a separate 24-hour reading vlog. It's probably gonna be before this one, so I will link it if it is, so you can go and see it. And you can hear more of my thoughts on this one. I'm at 136 pages so far. I just read like a fantasy going on a quest type of story. It is a little bit on the more on the gory side, but it's nothing different yet or unexpected. And so I'm still waiting for the horror side of it. Okay guys, I'm back to close this video. So I think this week I've read For the Wolf, The Black Tongue Thief, and Lock and Key Volume 1. So I did pretty well. I am really happy with my pace so far. I only have 2 books left on my Magical Readathon TBR, so that's exciting. If you haven't checked it yet, I posted my 24-hour readathon reading vlog that we did over the weekend. It was so much fun. So I've got a lot of footage from the weekend over there. I talked a lot about the Black Tongue Thief in that vlog, so I won't mention it too much here, but basically I give it 3 stars. It was fine. For Lock and Key Volume 1, I really enjoyed it. I gave it 5 stars, and if I can get my hands on the next volumes, I will definitely read that. However, it is quite violent, so just so you're aware. And for the wolf, what did I give it? Like a 2.5 stars, I think. I really like the ending and where the next book is going. I read the first chapter of the next book that was included in my copy. No, no, not for me. I don't like the direction where it's going, and I didn't really enjoy the plot. I guess it was kind of boring. With the world and the idea, so much could have been done, and I just think that it just lacked in a lot of ways. That's it for this vlog. I'll see you next week with another reading vlog. I am going to read, so the 2 last books I have, Son of the Storm and The Marionettes, so I'm pretty excited about that. I think I'm gonna read The Marionettes first, and then I'll finish with The Son of the Storm. My cats keep opening my door and I have laundry on. I've got other books that I would want to read if I can, so that would be really nice. I think I've already read 6 books. It's incredible. I'm really glad I have participated so far in this readathon. So let me know how you're doing, where you're at with your reading. If you haven't checked out the first week, I will link it up above. I've also created a playlist for all the vlogs that I'm doing for the Magical Readathon, so I'll link that down below. And make sure to also check out my 24-hour readathon vlog. I really had a fun time. It would be really sweet of you if you would like this video, if you enjoyed it, and make sure to subscribe if you want to see more of those. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!